What is cluster analysis? We are finding groups of objects such that objects in a group will be similar to one another and different from objects of other groups. So here you can see that there are three clusters. We formed three groups. And our objective is to reduce the intra-cluster distance. That is, distance within the cluster is minimized, and distance between cluster, inter-cluster distance, are maximized. There are different applications of cluster analysis. We can group related documents for browsing, group genes and proteins that have similar functionality, or group stocks with similar price fluctuations. This cluster analysis can be used in summarization also to reduce the size of a large data set. Now, there are different types of clustering. That is hierarchical clustering, partitional clustering, model-based clustering, density-based clustering, etc. In this new syllabus, you have to study hierarchical, partitional, and density-based clustering. In partitional clustering, a division of data objects into non-overlapping subsets. We are dividing the objects into non-overlapping subsets such that the data object is in exactly one subset. So it is partitional. We are dividing objects into different partitions so that the object will belong only to one cluster. We are forming non-overlapping clusters. In hierarchical clustering, a nested cluster like a tree structure organized as a hierarchical tree is formed. In hierarchical clustering, we are forming a tree of clusters. This is partitional clustering. Suppose these are the objects. Here we are dividing the objects into three different clusters. You can see that the object belongs to only one cluster. So there are three clusters in this case. So we have to study k-means clustering, hierarchical clustering, and density-based clustering. Then the partitional cluster, k-means is a partitional clustering approach. Here we must specify the number of clusters. That is, number of clusters should be given as input to the program. And each cluster is associated with the centroid or the center point. Actually, in k-means, the word means that represent the centroid. That means we can use the centroid to represent a cluster. Then each point is assigned to the cluster with the closest centroid. So we will start with we have to specify the number of clusters, and we will select some of the clusters as the representatives or seed points or initial centroids, and then we find out the distance between each object and the centroid, and we will allocate the object to the nearest centroid so that those with a particular centroid forms cluster with that particular centroid. Each point is assigned to the cluster with the closest centroid. This is the algorithm. Select k points as initial centroid. Repeat, form k clusters by assigning all points to the closest centroid, and we have to recompute the centroid of each cluster until the centroid does not change. So when we start with the initial phase or in the first iteration, the points will not be concentrated. You can see that in this cluster, in this case, there are three clusters, but the first cluster belongs to different clusters. The green cluster, even though this cluster belongs only to one group, it is not centralized in one group. Some of the points are included in the green cluster, some of the points are included in the blue cluster. After final iteration, all the points will belong to single cluster. So initially points are not localized, centralized. In the iteration 2, some more points are again included in the cluster. After the third iteration, more points are included and in that particular cluster. fourth iteration, fifth iteration, sixth iteration. Points are more concentrated. So there are different iterations in the k-means clustering algorithm. The initial centroids are chosen randomly. We can choose based on our prior knowledge, or if there is no knowledge about the problem, we can select the points randomly. Then the centroid is the mean points of the cluster. Closeness is measured by Euclidean distance, cosine similarity, or any other distance measures like Manhattan, etc. Euclidean, Manhattan, or cosine distance. K-means will converge for common similarity measures. Most of the convergence happens in few iterations. Now we will see a problem where we are using K-means clustering algorithm. There are 7 points. P1 point is P1 210, P2 25, P3 84, P4 58, and so on. Here we are assuming that P1, P4, and P7 are the initial centroids or the seed points. They are the representatives of each cluster. They are also the initial clusters. Now we are using Manhattan distance to compute the distance between the points and the centroid. So the calculation of to calculate the distance, Manhattan distance, suppose A is U1 V1 and B is U2 V2. You want to find out the Manhattan distance, you take the absolute difference U2 minus U1, absolute value of the difference U2 minus U1 plus V2 minus V1. That is, in this case, if the points are A and B and the point values are 2, 5 and 5, 8, you can take the difference between 2 and 5, 5 and 8. 2 minus 5, actually it is negative minus 3. There is we are taking only the absolute value, that is 3 is taken, and 5 minus 8 is minus 3. We are taking the absolute value only, so that is also 3. So 3 plus 3, 6 is the Manhattan distance. Now how the K-means algorithm progresses, we can see. So we have selected 3 points as initial seeds or centroids. They are 2, 10, 5, 8 and 1, 2. So we find the distance between all other points and each of these centroids. So the all other points 2, 10, 2, 5, 8, 4, 5, 8, 7, 5, 6, 4, 1, 2 is given in the first column. Then the 3 centroid values 2, 10, 5, 8, 1, 2. Then you have to find out the distance between each of these points and the centroid. When you take the difference between 210 and 210, it is 0. 210 and 25 is 5, Manhattan distance. 210 and 84, 8 minus 2 is 6, 4 minus 10 is 6. So 6 plus 6, 12. 5 minus 8. Similarly, you can find the distance 5 minus 8 and 2, 10. 5 minus 2 is 3. 8 minus 10 is 2, 3 plus 2, 5. Similarly, all of the distances are calculated. Now, from C2, you can find out the distance 5, 8 and 2, 10, 5, 5, 8 and 2, 5, 6, then 7, 0, 5, 5, 10. Similarly, the distance from C3 and all other points 2, 10 and 1, 2, 2 minus 1, 1 plus 1, 10 minus 2, 8. So the total value 9. Similarly, all of the distances are calculated. Then the last column, we are allotting the points to the nearest cluster. When you take the 3 distance 0, 5, 9, the nearest point is C1. That is, C1 is, we are taking from the distance from C1 itself. So the 0 is the minimum value. So it is in the cluster C1. Again, 2, 5. When you consider 2, 5, the minimum distance is between 2, 5 and C3. So it is allotted to C3. Similarly, 8, 4 is allotted to C2 because 7 is the minimum distance. 5, 8 is allotted to C2. Then 7, 5 is allotted, the minimum distance is 5, which is C2. And 6, 4 is allotted to C2. And 1, 2 is allotted to C3. Now, when you got the members of each cluster, in cluster C1, there is only one object, that is 210. In cluster C2, there are 4 objects. 8, 4, 5, 8, 7, 5 and 6, 4. And in cluster C3, there are two objects, 2, 5 and 1, 2. So these are the three clusters, 2, 10, cluster 2, 8, 4, 5, 8, 7, 5, 6, 4, cluster 3, 2, 5, 1, 2. Now we need to calculate the new cluster centers. For that, we have to calculate the average of each point. That means average of all x values and average of all y values. For the first cluster, there is only one object, so the cluster center will be the same. And for cluster 2, to find out the mean value, you have to sum the or take the sum of all x values, 8 plus 5 plus 7 plus 6 divided by 4. Similarly, the average of all y values, 4 plus 8 plus 5 plus 4 divided by 4. So the cluster center is 6.5 and 5.25. Now for cluster 3, we have 2, 5 and 1, 2 as the two objects. So center, to find out the center, take the average, 2 plus 1 by 2, that is 1.5. 5 plus 2 by 2, that is 3.5. Now again we have to find out the distance from the new cluster centroid. Initial centroid is not changing, 210 itself. Second one is 6.5, 5.25. Third one is 1.5 and 3.5. So again when we calculate the distance of each of these points, C1, C2, C3 from all other points, you will get a matrix like this. 210 distance between 210 and 210, 0. 210 and C2 is 9.25. 210 and C3 is 7. Similarly, all other distances are calculated. Now, when you look at the data, you can find that there is no change in the cluster change in the cluster membership. The cluster membership is not changing. So, we can stop the algorithm here. That is, 210 belongs to cluster C1. 25 belongs to cluster C3. 84. Again, 84 is the minimum distance is from C2. So 58 belongs to minimum distance is C2. And 75 belongs to 0.75, which is C2. 64, the minimum distance is 1.75, so C2. And the last one, C3. 1, 2 belongs to C3. This cluster membership is same as the previous iteration. Since the cluster membership is not changing, there will be no change in the cluster center also. So the algorithm stops here, stops execution here. This is how the K-means clustering algorithm is working.